Hi guys, this is Faryal from Scrumptious Cakes by Fairy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get the sharp edges on your cake using the acetate smoothers. So let's get started. You need a set of acetate smoothers. I have one round and one big rectangle and one smaller rectangle. So first I'm going to use the big round and a small rectangle. You need some icing sugar. Just put it somewhere on your surface because we will have to keep on dipping our smoothers in that because they do get stick on the cake. And obviously you need a cake for that. For cake, I would say whatever you're using under the fondant, either buttercream or ganache, should be really smooth. So make sure the crumb coating is really smooth, and then you normally ice your cake with the fondant. And now we are going to get started. So I'm going to dip my smoothers in the icing sugar like that and just tap off the excess icing sugar. So what you need to do is hold it like that, the round one, with the 4 fingers and the thumb underneath, but be careful, don't push the pressure on the edge. And then the second you need to hold with 4 fingers and the thumb underneath, and you need to make sure that these two are touching at the edge. So what you have to do is go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and make sure you're not pushing the pressure on the edges, because if you're going to put the pressure on the edge, what will happen is the cake will make a slope on the edge, or sometimes it might your cake might get a lip around the edge here, which you can't get rid of really. So just make sure they're touching, and then go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If you're using these smoothers for first time, then I would say use the ganache crumb coating under the fondant, because it is much easier for the first time user. Because my cake is actually ganache cake. So, and I have left it in the fridge for about 2 hours, so the ganache is really hard and set. But if you're using the buttercream, leave the cake in the fridge overnight to get it set really hard. Just keep moving the cake. See the meeting point, and then go back and forth, back and forth. I use buttercream and ganache both. So some people say you can't get it on the buttercream, but it's really not right. You can get it on the buttercream as well. Just leave the cake in the fridge overnight. Do very nice, clean, smooth crumb coating. Keep moving the cake. After one go, one round, you will see the edges are just coming. If you might see any air bubble, just pop it while you were doing it. Just go back and forth, and you can see how nice edges, but still it's not very sharp. Once I will be finished, you will see that they're really razor sharp kind of edges. So just put the pressure in the middle and go back and forth, back and forth. Keep moving the cake and keep dipping your smoother, because my cake is chilled for about 2 hours, and I just covered it with the fondant, so it's now coming back to the room temperature and making the fondant sticky. So don't worry about that, it should be fine. So it's been one round now. We have to do like a couple more. Take your time, don't rush, because if you're trying to do it quickly, you might poke the corners of the smoothers, which is really sharp, into the cake, and which is gonna rip your fondant off. The first few times your fingers are really going to hurt. It's quite hard to hold these with the fingers, so, but don't worry, you will get used to it. You might not get perfect in the first time, but don't give up. Keep practicing, because even I didn't do it right on the first time. Almost there. So, second round is done. So just last round, I think, and it should be done. Just make sure that they're touching each other on the edge. Use your finger to help them touch each other. Much easier to do with ganache crumb coating than buttercream, because ganache sets really hard even if it's left out on the counter. But buttercream, as soon as it comes out in the fridge, it comes on the room temperature. And the buttercream, when buttercream starts to get soft, you can't put a lot of pressure on your smoothers. That's why I'm saying for the first time users, I would suggest you to use ganache crumb coating. So just back and forth motion without putting pressure on the edge. That's all you need to do. This is done now, and you can see really sharp edges around the cake. Now what we are going to do is we're going to take the big smoother and smooth the sides. Okay, the best thing to use the smoother is, let me show you. You see, when I cut the fondant, it's not really nice on the edge. You see? But when I'm going to use the smoother, it's going to do a magic. So, put the smoother just right next to your fondant. Hold it with the fingers like that. Go back and forth, smoothing your cake. Let me show you that. Look at this. It's really smooth now. So I'm going to do a cake like that. Keep moving, put the pressure in the end so you get nice ends of the cake. Really nice clean bottom of the cake. So There you go. Almost done. Don't worry about the icing sugar. Just if you see there is a lot of icing sugar on the cake, just take a damp brush and brush it, or give a steam if you have a little steamer, which is really handy. So, this is all done. I have one air bubble on the top, which I might pop it later. So, and there is your finished cake. Let me show you a closer look. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I know you have, because so many of you has requested this after seeing my cakes with the sharp edges. So I really hope this tutorial gonna help you. If you have any question, visit my page on Facebook. It's called Scrumptious Cakes by Fairy. Send me a message or leave a comment on the picture, and I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Bye for now. See you in the next video.